Okay, there we are. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon. There we go. We are back with warm-up, day 28, I think. Yeah, almost a full month. Well, it has been a month, but a full month's worth of warm-ups. So I think it's a good day to start on the floor. So let's get started. Move you down here. And let's start by crawling around. I think that's a good way to get started. So, coming into your space. Now if this is hard on your knees, then you can adjust, or you can do the standing. But let's start by beginning to move our bodies in a slow sort of a crawl. Letting one arm stretch forward as the opposite knee comes up. And then the other arm crawling, stretching. Maybe it's the same knee, I don't know, however you want to crawl. So maybe it's sort of animal-like, like a tiger about to stalk its prey or stalking its prey. And maybe you find a piece of string that you want to play with for a little bit. So as you're crawling on the floor, and again, if this is hard on your knees, then you can come up onto your toes, or you can adjust however you need to. Feel the movement through your spine. Feel the stretch that this is giving you. And allow yourself to breathe through this. So we're stretching the arms and legs. We're waking up the back, waking up the spine. Now you can let your head drop. And you can let your head perhaps swing a little bit side to side as you do this, so that your neck is also getting a loosening. And now, as one of your hands comes up, allow a breath to come in through your mouth, and as your hand contacts the ground, the breath sighs out through an open mouth. And again, breath comes in as your hand comes up. Breath sighs out as your hand contacts the ground. Or maybe it's a paw if you're imagining you're a tiger or a cat or something. And now breath comes in as your hand or your paw comes up, and then as it contacts the ground, a little sigh and maybe a little crack of the voice. Maybe you're claiming your territory, you're staking your claim. And now let yourself rest back onto your heels, back into a folded leaf as you sigh. Resting back here in the folded leaf for a moment. up onto all fours. Stretching your hips. Coming forward, stretch your hips. Woo. And releasing back. And coming forward. And releasing back. So maybe imagine you're somewhat toad-like or frog-like. So you maybe move from like a toad into a dolphin. I'm just thinking of creatures we can become today. And coming back to the folded leaf. I've never done this before. This is just something that's occurring to me. It's something I need. So as we come forward, you'll sigh. And then relax back. And this time as you come forward and you sigh, let your head rock from side to side. And come back into the folded leaf. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. And now come onto your side. Onto your side body. And then we're going to come onto our backs. And if you need something for your head, I feel I need a pillow for my head. So I've grabbed a pillow here. Feel free to grab it. And come onto your back now. And you can let your legs extend for the moment. Let them stretch out. Arms down by your sides. And really surrender now into the floor. Let your animal, creature, body be supported by the floor. And as the back of my head makes an impression in this memory foam pillow, I'd like you to think that your body, your entire body, is sinking into the floor. And it's making an impression with your carpet or your mat or your hardwood floor or whatever it is that you're lying on. And your body is making a real impression on the floor. And to also know that you make an impression on the world. You might start to think, well, what impression do I want to make today? What impression do I want to make with people, with the world? And just a thought to perhaps drop in throughout our warm-up today of what you want to bring into the world through the impression of you, as the impression of your body sinks deeper and deeper and deeper into the floor. And now thinking into your knee, your right knee. Float your right knee up, dragging your right foot until it's flat on the floor. Notice now that your right foot is making an impression with the floor. And the right side of your pelvis is making a bit more of an impression as well. And then thinking to your left knee, and float your left knee up, dragging your left foot until it's flat on the floor. And notice the new impression you're making with your left foot, the left side of your pelvis. And maybe you even feel that your lower back now is making a bit more of an impression. So you are making more of an impression. Bring your attention now to your breath. Let your lips be parted. Soft open mouth. Feel the breath coming in and out. Dropping into your belly. If you want, you can flop a hand onto your middle so that you can feel the impression that the breath is making in your belly. And that impression changes. So yes, the breath makes the first impression, but then it leaves you and it's a different sort of feeling. And then allow the outgoing breath to turn to sound. Ha. What impression does that touch of sound, that vibration make in you? Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. And now feeding in a deep down sigh of relief on vibration. And then taking both of your hands to your belly and letting your hands make an impression on your middle. And they're going to shake the vibrations out, loosen the vibrations, or jiggle the vibrations from your center. There's never a need to push. You're picturing the vibrations, feeling the vibrations right underneath your hands. And as you jiggle those vibrations from your belly, maybe you can feel the vibrations traveling through your belly and actually traveling down through your pelvis into the impression that you're making on the floor, and it's adding to that impression of you through your vibrations. And then bringing your hands, your gentle fists through your ribs, thumping the sound through your rib cage. And now bring your hands to your face and sigh a hum directly to your lips. And it's as though you've gotten your own cement, your own bit of the sidewalk at the theater in Los Angeles, and you're making an impression with your hands as you sigh hum to your lips and feel those vibrations. And now, usually, an actor only gets, or an artist only gets one try at that, because once you make that impression, that's it. But we magically, through the miracle of the warm-up, get as many impressions as we want. So we're going to let our hands now come down to the jaw and impress into the jaw as we sigh a hum to the lips. Be aware of all that resonance in the bones of your skull, in your jaw. And then maybe you can slip a hand onto the hands on the sides of your skull, and can you impress yourself? And maybe you can slip a hands behind your skull, and you can interlace your fingers at the back of your skull and impress the back of your skull and feel the vibrations. And then bring your fingers and interlace on top of your skull, so the heels of your hands are at the temples, fingers at the top of the skull. And then lay your hands on the top of your forehead. Maybe the heels of your hands touch your eyebrows, but cover as much of your forehead as you can, making that impression with your fingers and palms. And lay your hands across your eyes, maybe the heels of your hands down by your cheeks. And then lay your hands on any part of your skull that you want to impress, that you want to make that handprint in. And then you're going to move your hands around all the parts of your wet cement face, feeling the vibrations, and then you're going to open your lips and draw those vibrations out. And again, as you pull those vibrations away, as if you could draw the vibrations out in all directions, and maybe you're healing those impressions. Maybe it's like, no, I don't want those impressions. I want a second chance at it. So you're pulling, restoring that cement back to its original state. And float your right knee up over your belly, clasp onto your knee with your hands, and feet in a side down to that hip socket, and shake your knee in and away from the belly. And maybe you can picture down into the hip socket and picture the top of your thigh bone, that rounded head of your thigh bone, is making a sort of juddering or a shaking impression, if that were possible, into your hip socket, and it's shaking the sound from your hip socket. Gently exchange your knees. And if you want, you can let your head gently rock from side to side, letting your ears now make an impression on the ground. And keep that knee over your belly. Float the other knee up over your belly. Both knees over the belly. Right hand on your right knee, left hand on your left knee. And then shake both knees in and away from your belly. It can be both at the same time, or it can be sort of wibble wobble, one and then the other. And then extend both legs up into the sky. And they do not have to be straight. They can be bent like mine are. And let your vibrations come from your pelvis, from the impression you're making with your pelvis, all the way up through your legs, and shake the vibrations of sound up and up through your feet. And let your heels drop to your thighs, and a little wibble wobble of your lower legs. Ha 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 ha. And then again, extend your legs up to the sky, and this time just with an open sigh, shake the vibrations of sound up and out through your legs. And then heels drop to your thighs, a little wibble wobble. Ha 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 ha. Let your feet drop flat to the floor. And you might be feeling a need in your pelvis to get a little bit of a loosening. So let's float the pelvis up off the ground about an inch or two. And you're going to bounce the pelvis as you bounce the sound up and out through your hip sockets, up through your pelvis. And then lay your pelvis back down. This time, hum, as soon as your lips come together on the hum, float your pelvis up off the ground. And then when your pelvis is floating up about 2 inches, 1 or 2 inches or so, you'll bounce the hum, and then you'll open your lips and continue to bounce that sound out of you. So it will be something like hum, ah. And then you'll lay your spine down from the lumbar to the sacrum to the tailbone. Here we go. Hum, ah. Lay your spine down. And now I'll give you a pitch with my voice and you'll answer me back. Hum, ah. And if you want to add to this, you can add the head rocking side to side. So you're going to be loosening in your neck, loosening in your pelvis. Now, float your pelvis up off the ground as high as it can go. You may need to bring your feet a little closer to your butt to do that. Float your pelvis up as high as it can go. Feel that stretch through your hip sockets, through your belly. Lay your hands now across your stretched belly. And now let the vibrations of sound pour from your pelvis down through your torso and to your lips and out your mouth. And gently lay your spine down. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Bring your fingers now into your jaw. And if you want, let's stretch our legs out. Let's just give the legs a stretch. I'm feeling the need for that. And point and flex your feet. Just to give those legs a bit of a stretch. And as you do that, actually, let's leave the jaw for a moment. And as you do that, as you point and flex your feet, breathe in and out on a whispered ka. I can see my feet are sort of off camera, so let me move myself. And once more, flex and point your feet as you breathe in and out in a whispered ka. Opening the soft palate. Breathing in through your feet. Through your legs and into your hip sockets. And let that go. And just shake your feet loose. Shake your knees loose. Good. Now you can leave your legs extended, or you can bring your feet back flat, knees bent, whatever feels most comfortable in your body. And bring your fingers down into your jaw. Massage your jaw. And so usually what we're doing is we're massaging through the masseter muscle, which is the big chewing muscle. And you can feel the connection underneath the cheekbone, down the jaw, and back to the back angle point, back angle bone of your jaw. And so you can take your fingers and sort of pull that masseter down like taffy. You could take the heels of your hands and massage into it. You could even take your knuckles. And you may feel that your masseter feels quite ropey. And so that masseter, which is one of the strongest, if not the strongest muscle in the body, so I've been told, is responsible for chewing and biting into things like almonds and tough meat or tough vegetables, so it has to be strong. But we're encouraging that muscle to soften as well. So really, really working into those ropey bits. Now, if your hands are clean and you want to do this, you can go in your mouth, slide your finger along your upper teeth, and go to where the back molars, where that ends, and you can get up into the pterygoids. You have to really go inside to do that. If your fingers aren't clean, they just stick with the masseter. And you can get up in there and sort of massage up in that soft bit behind your top teeth. Moving the pterygoid's a bit of a massage. Again, only do this if you feel comfortable with your hands. This is not the time, we're not living in a time where we really want to be touching our face, much less putting our fingers in our mouth. But my hands are clean. As clean as I care them to be. I'll let that go. Oh yeah, and I feel that jaw drop. I really like that pterygoid release. So maybe you have some gloves later on, you can do that, or wash your hands and you can try that later. Bring your hands now to your jawbone, feet in a sigh up and over the roof of your mouth, and shake your jaw loose. One more time. Float your knees up and over your belly. Give them a little hug. A little shake in and away. And let's visit our diagonal stretch. Let your knees fall to one side. Opposite arm out stretches to the side. Head and neck gently drop away from your knees. Feel that stretch through your ribs, through your hip sockets, through your inner abdominals. Feeding in a sigh through a smiling animal roar down to the hip socket nearest the ground. And as you sigh out on vibration, that river of sound, stretch and relax your tongue. Float your knees up and over your belly, up and over to the opposite side, other diagonal stretch. Head and neck drop away from the knees. Smiling through your animal roar down to the hip socket, sighing that river of sound up and over the roof of your mouth, and stretching, relaxing your tongue twice. And if your hand is on your knee, let it drop to the ground. Float your knees up and over your belly. Give your knees a little shake in and away from your belly as you loosen the middle of your tongue. Loosen the middle of your tongue. Bring your hands now into the inner parts of your knees, inner thighs. And you're going to breathe in on a whispered ka as you stretch your leg out to the side. Call a high and sound vibration and stretch and relax your tongue as you circle your foot. Circle your foot off of your ankle. So it's going to be and then you let the heel drop back in. Here we go, together. Hi. And then the other foot, other leg. Hi. And then the other leg. Hi. Hi. And now both legs. Hi. Heels drop in. One more time, both legs. Hi. Heels drop in. Bring your knees back over your belly and shake your knees again. And now let your knees and your torso fall to the right side, so you're in a semi-fetal on the right side. Now is the time you will probably want to get rid of your pillow if you have one. And just let your arm now stretch out along the ground to be a pillow for your head. And now from there, we're going to sigh, ha-hum, to the lips. As your lips come together, your feet will move away from your body. Follow that hum through your arching spine as you come into a big banana stretch on your side, and then you'll release your lips at the top and release the vibrations of sound out through your whole body. So it's going to be from the semi-fetal, it goes Here we go. Let's do that together. And then immediately relax back to the semi-fetal. So this time we're going to add the tongue stretch. So as you release at the top, stretch and relax your tongue twice to get it out of the way. And then let's add to that, circling the ankles, the feet, and the wrists. So we're doing a lot of things at once. So it will be Relax back to the semi-fetal. Here's the pitch. Ha. Here we go. Relax back to the semi-fetal. Bring yourself now onto your hands and knees. And let's sit up onto our heels. Now, if this is uncomfortable, you can sit cross-legged. And we'll come just to finish out our warm-up today. And say hello to our lower resonators and hello to Kiki. Hello, Kiki. So I'm sitting here on my knees, long spine. Let's lengthen our necks up and back. Let's let that throat, the channel, drop wide open all the way down to the pelvic floor. Hand on your chest, hand between your shoulder blades, and sigh out through your chest. out low, warm chest resonance. Ah. And then come up on your neck. Bring your hands to the sides of your face and find your mouth resonance. Ah. 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 And lengthen your neck forward and find your teeth resonance. E. 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 Try to relax the back of your tongue. E. Come up to the mouth. Ha. And drop back to your chest. Ha. Come up on your neck and blend those three. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Come onto all fours and shake that hey down through one of your legs. Hey. And down and out through the other leg. Hey. And come up and shake that hey out through an arm. Hey. And through the other arm. Hey. And through your torso. Hey. And a little swing. Hey. 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 And let that swing come slowly to stillness. Hey, hey, hey. 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 That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that attention to the impression that you make in the world, and maybe as you reflect now, noticing the impression that you're making with your body, with your thoughts, with your voice. Hey, hey, hey. What an impression. See you tomorrow.